What is up, everybody? Welcome back to 9 to 5 Gamers, and today we are going to be going over my haul from Dice Tower East. So it's going to be new games that are entering into my collection. This year I decided to stop buying games and start playing them, and I did the not buying part, but I did not do the playing part. So I wanted to stop buying and start playing, and I just have not played a lot of games this year as much as I want to. I need to have more game nights and things like that, but starting to get back into the rhythm and into the flow of things. But I went to Dice Tower East and I told myself, hey, look, I'll buy a few games at Dice Tower East, but I think I went a little overboard, but you guys be the judge of that. In the comment section, let me know what was your favorite new game that you've purchased, and put it in the comment section. And don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. It helps out the channel. And if you are feeling generous and you would like to contribute financially to this channel, we've got memberships as low as $1. You can go all the way up to $5, $10, and it's just a great way to continue to fund the channel. But without further ado, let's get into these games. So at Dice Tower East, not only did they have a virtual flea market, but they also had a display, like an exhibit hall, where a lot of different companies came over and brought out some games. So I'm going to bring out the games that I got. This is one from the exhibit hall. So I ended up getting the Ark Nova map pack. This is the one that came out a while ago, but then they just reprinted them and stuff like that. So I was really excited to get my hands on that. A map pack 1. And then I also got the Marine World expansion for Ark Nova. Most of you guys already know Ark Nova is a really good game. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and the Marine World expansion is just going to add more content to that. Another game that was in the exhibit hall, which is really cool because I think this is like the second print run of these, is Obsession, right? And so Obsession is one of the greatest games of all time. I think it's in the BGG Top 100, and they had copies over there, but they were running out super fast for whatever reason. People were just grabbing these things like hotcakes, and so I went ahead and grabbed myself a copy of Obsession because I know my wife really wants to play that game. Next game I got, this was from the virtual flea market, brand new sealed, by the way, which I have unsealed it and already gone through it, but I got a copy of Tigris and Euphrates, which is, I believe, a Knizia game, isn't it? Yeah, Reiner Knizia, and supposedly this is also one of the best games of all time. Got a nice sealed copy of that, which I thought was pretty awesome because I've never seen that game at any game store I've ever been to. I got Space Station Phoenix, which I'm looking forward to. You're supposed to be building up like a spaceship, but I don't know if it's cooperative or competitive, but it looks really, really fun, and I've always wanted to play this game, so I went ahead and picked up a copy of that, and I got really good prices on a lot of these things. Next game I got was a game called Kingdom Builder. Kingdom Builder is a really cool looking game. I've always wanted to play it. Kind of gave me Catan feels when I first saw it, but this one came with, I think I paid $20 for this, and it came with every single expansion for Kingdom Builder. It's like all inside the box. This thing is stuffed and it is very heavy. So that's Kingdom Builder. Another game that I've heard great things about but haven't actually played is a game called Deus. And I've been wanting to play this game for a little while, and so I heard it's really, really good, and I'm excited to get it to the table. We'll see how this game plays. You guys let me know if you've ever played that. Anytime you see a game that you've played and you like, put it in the comments. And then this, the Piece de Resistance, Teotihuacan, City of Gods. I got this for 20 bucks. And I think it's only been played like maybe once or twice. This thing is a beautiful game, and I'm excited to play it because it's my first T game. So really excited for those. That is my first batch. Let me go ahead and get the next one. Next game on my list is a game that was sent to me by Devere. Thank you, Devere. You guys are awesome. Sent me a copy of Cities. I'm going to do a review of this coming out soon. This is a really hot game at Dice Tower East, but Devere had sent me a copy right before I went to Dice Tower, so it's on the list. I'll put it on the list. Next game is, I've been wanting to play this for a little while, Mystic Paths. It's like an interesting like party game, word game, but you like actually have like a board and you're going around and doing different things. But Mystic Path looks pretty interesting. I'm excited to get it to the table and play it with a couple of friends. So that's Mystic Paths. Really excited for this game. I started learning how to play it already because I've been wanting to play Rajas of the Ganges for so long. This is a really, really classic, good game. Has like little dice that you're going to use to spend, and then there's like little worker placements, and I don't know, it just looks really, really cool. In Ark Nova, you've got the 2-point tracks that go around the board and then connect, and when they cross, that's the game end, and whoever had the biggest like gap in their points wins. They got that from Rajas of the Ganges, so it's like the original of that mechanism. Excited to play that. Got this box is in kind of beat up shape. It's like literally split. But Wiz War from Fantasy Flights, I've heard nothing but great things about this game, and I'm excited to learn how to play it and get it to the table. That is Wiz War. Next game I got, another Knizia, Blue Moon City. This is a classic looking game. I love the way it looks on the back, and I really don't know too much about it. I just know that it's Knizia and I want to play it, and I've heard it's good. I'm so excited for Blue Moon City. Next up, I got this game for about $5. I know a couple people from Dice Tower who say it's a good game and they enjoyed it. It's got the Dice Tower seal of approval on this side, but this is Rising 5. To be honest with you, the game looks fine. I'm really not interested in the game. I'm interested in the artwork because I collect all Vincent Dutrait games. So anytime there's a Vincent Dutrait game, I'm for it. And so this is no exception, so I'm excited for that. And another really good one that I got super cheap as well, Lacrimosa. Lacrimosa is another great DeVere game, and it's about Beethoven's symphony and finishing it or something like that, and it looks super tan, but I am excited to play it. That is Lacrimosa. Next game, Onitama. Got this for $5. Arcane Wonders. This is such a good game. It's like a chess-like game between the red and blue player, and the action selection is pretty interesting because everybody gets 2 cards, and then you just draft them and figure out which kind of movement you're going to do to try to win the king or to take over the palace. So it's a really cool game. I really liked Onitama. These are some of the small box games. I got The Grizzled, which I think it's a cooperative game, and it's like in war and stuff like that, but it looks pretty interesting. It's a little card game. These are all like the small box games that I got, so that's The Grizzled. Excited to try that one. Hanamakoji, which I hear is an amazing card game, and I've been wanting to play this for a while now, but Hanamakoji is so pretty, like the cards on the inside, and I'm excited to learn it. It plays with 2 people, and it's only 15 minutes, supposedly, so I'm looking forward to getting that one to the table. I got another game, and I actually already played this one, and it's called Palm Island, and that's because as soon as I got back from convention, I was going to Disney, like the very next day, and I went to Disney, and while I was in line, I was playing Palm Island, and I learned how to play it, and it's a pretty cool little resource management game, and it's got cards, and they come inside like a little box, but it came with this cool little like lapel thing. Cool is an overstatement. This is not cool. I look like a giant nerd playing this in the park, but it was really cool because you play the game in the palm of your hand, and it's just like a resource management. You get like a little deck of 17 cards, and then you store resources and use them to upgrade cards in your hand, and then you do that for a couple of rounds and see how many points you can score. Palm Island is fun. I really like this game, and it's cool that you can just play it at the park, and it plays with 2 people, so it's pretty cool. Me and my wife can play that. Let's see. Another Knizia, and that is Battle Line. I've heard that this is an amazing Knizia game. I really want to try it because I've heard it's really good, and it just looks fun. I like little card games like this, especially dueling card games that you can play with like 2 people. Me and my wife love games like that. Next game on my list is a local game store here in Orlando. Just opened up in our mall, and their name is Fantastic Games, and they had a copy of Monikers, so in order to support the store, I went ahead and bought a copy of Monikers. They had some other games there, but I wasn't too sure on like some of the games as far as like if I wanted them or not. But they had a really good selection. But yeah, it was really cool. I just saw Monikers. I haven't got a chance to play it yet. Played it with my wife, like 2-player, but I just don't think that's the same experience. But I'm really excited to get that one to the table as well. Next game I got a copy of the EV Point Salad. So this is a game that came out exclusively in Korea, and it is really interesting because it's a point salad version. It's an EV version of Point Salad. I haven't learned how to play if there's any kind of new mechanics to it. It might play exactly like just regular Point Salad, but it's got EV on it, so it looks really pretty, and I love Pokemon, so got the EV Point Salad. Then, this is a really cool one. This is, and it's in like pristine condition, Love Letter Batman edition. So I got the Batman version of Love Letter, and it's in like, bro, like when I tell you this thing is in perfect condition. It's got the rules still. Looks like they haven't even really been used or opened. And I've got the original Batman version of Love Letter, which I hear is one of the best. So I'm excited to finally get this played. And the fact that it's in my collection is awesome. And they put it in this little box for me, which I was like, you know what, that's probably better than the little pouch it always comes in. Then I was Exploding Kittens sent me a couple of games. They sent me 3 games. Number 1, Why Are You Like This? I actually really want to play this game because it's a game where you're either going to talk draw, or gesture. So like there is 3 things that you might do. So I have to try to get you to guess a word, but I can only depending what card I pull, I can either tell you about it, I can either draw it, or I can, gesture it. But the crazy part is that it'll say something like, I'll read one off the box. It says, I can talk, but I have to be sticking my tongue out, or I can draw, but also I can't touch the pen with my hands. So it's like, probably got to use like your chin or your mouth or something like that. So it's a very interesting game because it puts you in a position where it's like, hey, you're going to do this, but you're going to add a little rule to it, and it's going to be wild and crazy. I'm actually really looking forward to playing that game. And another one they sent me, Exploding Kittens, was That Escalated Quickly, which I think is a newer game. Both of these games I think are newer, and really excited to get this one to the table. And so, yeah, this one looks really cool too as well. Can't wait to play that one. Next game is also from Exploding Kittens, and that is Throw Throw Burrito. A lot of you guys have probably played this already or looking to play it at some point, but it looks cute. Throw Throw Burrito. You get to throw burritos at each other. All right. Should I start here? I guess I'll start here. We got Honey Buzz. This was also brand new sealed retail copy. See, the thing with this game too is that they have like a retail and they have like a deluxe version, and I was looking at the difference between the two. I was like, I think the retail version's just fine. Like the retail version of certain games I would be like, maybe not. The retail version of this, fantastic, and I'm excited to finally get this played because I've been wanting to play this with my wife for a long time. It's one of my favorite games, but I never owned a copy. Next game, Last Bastion. I believe that this game is a re-implementation of Ghost Stories, which is a super hard game, but I've heard it's really good. I think that's what this is. I feel like I remembered hearing that, but I'm excited to play it because it's got that fantasy theme, and I just like games like this. Another game that I got, and I was really interested in trying this game because it looks cool. So it's like a roll and write, but you don't roll dice, you flick little discs, and it's literally, the best way I could describe it is that it's Crokinole in a box. And so I was like, I'm interested to see how that works. And so you flick these discs into different locations, and depending which location you land in at the end of the round, you are going to check off boxes in those different like environments. And it's like 4 different desert environments, and you got your own little roll and write, and it's cool too because it's marker, dry erase marker board. It's a dry erase board, and it's really cool. So Sonora looks really interesting. I'm excited to play that one. This was another cool game that I got. It was brand new sealed, and finally glad I got a copy of this because I've been wanting to play this so bad, and that is Pret-A-Porter. I can hear all of the pieces sliding and gliding around inside of the box, but this is supposed to be some kind of fashion designer game that looked interesting mechanically, so I really wanted to get a copy of that and play with my wife and see if she enjoys that. Next game is Fall of the Mountain King. I have In the Hall of the Mountain King, which is I finally got to play that, and that was really good. Like, I like that, and I couldn't help it because like this version was super cheap, and I was like, hey, now I can have both of them. I'm not exactly sure how this one plays, but it looks really cool, and I like the mechanics of the first one, and I feel like this one looks pretty cool as well. Excited to get that one played as well. This one apparently takes 30 minutes, right? 30 minutes per builder. So if you're playing solo, 30 minutes. But next game I got this one at the convention. This is a funny story because I got Pokemon Splendor, which should have been on my top 20. I guess for whatever reason forgot to put it on there. But if I was going to put it on there, it probably would have made my top 10 just because it is Pokemon. I love Pokemon, and it is Splendor, which is already a great game. But the thing is, I feel like this really elevates Splendor because of that evolution mechanic where it's like, hey, you can buy this card for 4 blue, 3 pink, and 2 black Pokeballs, right? And you can either pay the price of that card, but if it's like a second stage evolution, you could just evolve into it. It'll say if you have 4 blue, you could just evolve. And the way that mechanic works is that you can buy a card, reserve a card, take chips, and then at the end of your turn, if you meet the criteria, you can evolve one of your Pokemon. So instead of buying that card, I can actually just take that card from the row and replace the card that it evolved from into my tableau, and then put that one off to the side as like a tiebreaker, and then whoever has the most, if anybody ties at the end of the game, it goes into a contest of who's evolved the most Pokemon. So it ends up being like a little mechanic like that. It is super good and super fun. I feel like this is the only version of Splendor I'm going to play for a while. So excited to get that one to the table, and I'm glad I got a copy of it. Oh, yeah, I said there was a funny story behind it. Well, the funny story was that a friend of mine bought 2 copies of that and ordered them from overseas, and he was like, oh, look, I got an extra copy of it. I was like, bro, let me buy that extra copy off of you. I'll pay whatever you paid for it. And I want to review it on my channel. And then he's like, oh, I was going to do a giveaway with it. And I was like, ah, man. He's like, you can enter the giveaway. Maybe you might win. And I was like, all right. So I entered the giveaway, and I did not win the game, but when I went to the virtual flea market, the guy who did win the game sold it to me for $40, and so I ended up getting it from him anyway at some point. So it was a really funny story. But anyways, I got a copy of Undaunted Normandy, which I've been wanting to play an Undaunted game, and so I got this one. Is this the first one, or is this like later? I don't know. I don't know which one this is, but it's an Undaunted game, and I've been wanting to play an Undaunted game, so we'll see how that goes. Next up is another game that I got from the exhibit hall, and that was Through the Desert, which is an older, I think, Knizia game that got redesigned, and it's really pretty now, like the different camels and stuff like that. Not to mention that I got the deluxe version, so it came with like the screen printed meeples. Look at these things. These things are super pretty screen printed meeples. So excited to get this one to the table because I really liked this game when I played it. Just like a little area control camel game. It's super fun. Love Through the Desert. Then I went to DeVere and I got a copy of The White Castle, which I've been wanting a copy of. I asked for a review copy from them, but they didn't have any on stock. But I think that's because they were trying to sell as many copies as they could at Dice Tower. But White Castle is really good. Like, again, the game is really nice. I think the how to play, like what you need to do is very simple. You take a dice, you place it on a spot, get rewards, but why you do it is so complex and so beautiful. There's so many interesting things you can do. There's like 3 areas that you're trying to get workers in. White Castle's awesome, and I loved playing it, and I went ahead and picked myself up some copies of that. Then I got 3 Ring Circus. I am very interested in learning how to play this game better and also learning how to teach it, so that way we can play it at the house. But I love the circus theme, and me and my wife loved, what was the name of that? Greatest Showman. So we might listen to some Greatest Showman while we play this game, so I'm excited to get that one to the table again. 3 Ring Circus was awesome. And now we're at the tail end of this video. Got some more big box games that I want to show you. So the first one is, had it upside down, Monster Hunter World. I got this from Steamforged, actually. They sent me a copy of this to do a review. So adding this to the list of all the games that I have to do reviews, it's going to take me a good minute, but I'm really excited. This is a cool boss battler, and I'm a little out of breath just because I'm like, bro, these games are heavy. So anyway, that's Monster Hunter World. I'm excited for that one. I finally got a copy of Role Player Adventures, and I could not be more happier. The guy, too, that sold it to me was like, hey, bro, he's like, let me tell you something. You got a really good deal because I played this maybe like once or twice with my son, and it's just sat there. And I was like, yes. So Role Player Adventures, this is the big box campaign version of Role Player, but I'm for it, man. Role Player was a decent game, but man, I've been wanting Role Player Adventures for so long. It's super expensive. It's like $120, and finding it is super difficult, and I missed out on the last, I think, Kickstarter that they did, and I wasn't able to get a copy. I didn't have the money back then. Ooh, excuse me. I didn't have the money back then, but I got a copy now, and I'm excited. So that's Role Player Adventures. Bro, this game literally weighs like 100 pounds. Like, no lie, it feels just as heavy or almost as heavy as Gloomhaven. This next game is a special game. As you can see, it is a League of Legends game called Mechs vs. Minions. This is the part of the video where I get all sappy and sentimental because the only reason I got these games as cheap as I did was because I told this lady I would give her a shout out on my channel. But Mechs vs. Minions, shout out to Debbie. Debbie, you're awesome, man. And Debbie sold a lot of games at the convention, and she sold me this for a great price. And so I was like, man, I got a copy of Mechs vs. Minions, which inside is just a phenomenal looking game. And the next game I'm about to pull out is the game I'm probably the most excited for. I didn't rank all these games in order from excitement, but I'm definitely excited for all these games. But Mechs vs. Minions, I was like, bro, I could not say no to this copy of this game. I was like, bro, honestly, this looks so stinking cool, and I'm so excited to play this. It is huge, and I'm just glad. Thank you, Debbie. Shout out to the Debster. Shout out to the Debster for this one. This is insane. So I got, how do I do this? All right. I'm not going to put it sideways because if I do, everything's going to fall out. But I got Twilight Imperium 4th edition. Twilight Imperium is a very expensive game. In and of itself, you're looking at like a good $100 for this game. So I've been wanting TI4 for like forever. I've really been wanting to play this game, and I'm going to set up a game day to play it. But not only did I get this, but I also got, it has a, what is it called? A folded space insert. So it's got like the foam insert. So everything is super organized already. Not only that, but I got the expansion, which is the Prophecy of Kings, Twilight Imperium expansion. Excited to get that one to the table. I also got the folded space insert that hasn't been built for that expansion. And not only did I get that, but I got the playmat for Twilight Imperium. So I got the Twilight Imperium playmat, and man, I'm just tickled pink, man. Like, I got so much stuff for the price that I paid for this. I would have never probably been able to buy this game in store, but I was able to get this game at the con, not only for a very good price, but I also got, man, this is like $100, $120. This thing is like $80. These things are like $50. I got one for the big box and one for the expansion box, and I got the playmat, which I don't know how much that usually goes for, but man, what a great deal. And that's all the games I got at the convention this year. I don't think I'm missing any, but I probably might have missed one or two, but I think I got them all. But that's all, man. Those are all the games. Guys, what gets you excited from this list? What are you most excited for me to play? What's your favorite game from this list? And let me know in the comment section. And the more comments I get of a specific game, the more likely it is that I'll get that one to the table first. What should I play first? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And if you want to become a member, you can contribute to this channel in a great way for only $1 a month. And you get some exclusive content and some early access to stuff. So excited for that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Love you guys. I'll see you guys later.